Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to break down a very interesting move happening in the crypto market right now, where Monad, MON, is showing strength while the overall market is under heavy pressure. At a time when Bitcoin is falling sharply and the broader crypto market is sitting in extreme fear, Monad is actually moving in the opposite direction, which makes the situation worth analyzing in detail. So in this video, we will understand why MON is going up, what is driving this move, and whether this strength can continue or not. This video is for informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research or consult a professional before making any investment decisions. Right now, Monad is trading around $0.0206 and has gained approximately 3.05% in the last 24 hours. While this may look like a small move on the surface, the real importance of this price action becomes clear when we compare it with the broader market conditions. During the same period, Bitcoin has dropped around 5.32%, and most altcoins are also under heavy selling pressure due to weak investor sentiment. The overall crypto market is currently in an extreme fear zone, which usually leads to risk-off behavior, meaning investors tend to sell rather than buy. However, despite all of this negativity, Monad is showing positive price action, which indicates that it is currently outperforming the broader market, a condition often referred to as alpha performance. Now, the most important question is what is actually driving this move in Monad? According to the available data, there is no major fundamental news, such as partnerships, listings, or ecosystem updates that could explain this price increase. This means the move is not news-driven, but instead appears to be market structure-driven. The primary factor behind this strength is a noticeable surge in spot buying activity. Monad's 24-hour trading volume has increased by approximately 18.85%, reaching around $93.46 million. This rise in volume, along with price increase, suggests that buyers are actively accumulating MON at current levels, rather than the move being caused by low liquidity or short-term manipulation. To understand this better, we need to look at the broader context. Monad has already experienced a significant decline of around 36% over the past month, which means it has been in a strong downtrend. When an asset falls heavily like this, it often enters an oversold zone where selling pressure starts to weaken because most weak holders have already exited. At the same time, smart money, or early buyers, often begin to accumulate positions quietly, expecting a potential recovery. This combination of reduced selling pressure and increasing buying interest can create short-term relief rallies, which is likely what we are seeing in Monad right now. However, it is important to understand that this type of move does not always guarantee a long-term trend reversal. In many cases, it can simply be a temporary bounce within a larger downtrend. Looking at the technical structure, there are some important price levels that traders should keep an eye on. The first key level is $0.0195, which is acting as a critical support zone. As long as Monad holds above this level, the short-term bullish structure remains intact and buyers are still in control. If momentum continues and volume stays strong, the next resistance level to watch is around $0.022, where the price could face selling pressure. However, if Monad fails to hold the $0.0195 support level, then the bullish momentum would weaken and the price could potentially decline further toward $0.017. This makes the current zone very important because Monad is basically sitting at a decision point where the next move could define short-term direction. We also need to consider the broader market environment, because no altcoin moves completely independently for long. Right now, Bitcoin is still under pressure, and overall market sentiment remains in extreme fear. In such conditions, even strong-looking altcoins often struggle to maintain upward momentum for an extended period. If Bitcoin continues to decline, Monad may also face resistance and possible correction. On the other hand, if Bitcoin stabilizes or shows recovery, then Monad could benefit from increased risk appetite and potentially move higher more quickly. So the direction of MON is still closely tied to overall market conditions. Going forward, there are a few key signals that will be important to watch. The first is volume consistency. If Monad continues to show strong volume on upward moves, it would confirm that real demand is present in the market. The second factor is sentiment. If the broader market starts moving away from extreme fear toward neutral or greedy conditions, altcoins like Monad usually benefit quickly. And the third and most important factor remains Bitcoin itself, because it still controls the overall direction of the crypto market. So to summarize everything, Monad is currently showing a short-term upward move of about 3%, despite a weak and fearful market environment. This strength is mainly driven by increased spot buying interest, rising trading volume, and possible accumulation after a sharp 36% decline in recent weeks. However, There is no strong fundamental catalyst behind this move, which means it is more likely a technical and sentiment-driven bounce rather than a confirmed long-term breakout. The key levels to watch remain $0.0195 as support and $0.022 as resistance, which will decide the next direction of the price. And that brings us to the end of today's analysis. Monad is currently in a very important zone, where the next move could either confirm continued short-term recovery or lead to another rejection if market pressure increases. So it is important to keep an eye on both Monad and Bitcoin, because the broader market will play a major role in what happens next. If you found this breakdown useful, stay tuned for more crypto updates. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update. See you in the next one.